On the broadcast tonight, we look at on-campus Halloween events that happened and information on registering for classes for next spring semester.
And a preview of what SUTV is doing on Election Day.
All that and more right now on SUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to this week's broadcast with the latest news. I'm Abby Hockenberry.
And I'm Emily Hall. Pennsylvania State Police are investigating a fatal stabbing that occurred this past weekend. According to State Police, 2 individuals were stabbed on the first block of North Washington Street in Shippensburg on Sunday. When police arrived, they found Christopher Nunn of San Antonio, Texas, deceased from stab wounds. Another victim was transported to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. State police are investigating this incident as a homicide. They say there is no threat to the public. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. Shippensburg held its annual Tricks No Treats on Monday, and Old Main Lawn was packed with festive kids. The line went all the way back to Old Main Fountain with families upon families there to celebrate the Halloween season. Many student organizations took the opportunity to give out candies to the tiniest of trick-or-treaters. Shippensburg Fire and Police departments were also there promoting safety in communities, giving out fire safety coloring books. Even President Patterson and his wife Colleen made an appearance as Mario and a mushroom, alongside their dog. Many games were also offered to kids, including a tossing game and a field filled with classic yard games. Old Main Fountain also was filled with a duck collecting game. Big Red and Shippo were also at the event interacting with trick-or-treaters, waiting for their chance to trick-or-treat. It's safe to say that this year, Tricks No Treats was quite a hit.
The Wood Honors College has gotten into the Halloween spirit. On Friday, the Honors College held their annual pumpkin carving contest run by the Honors Activity Committee. Multiple teams entered and carved the best faces they could into their pumpkins. Some participants stuck to classic jack-o'-lantern features, while some tried to make more complex designs. Last Thursday, the Honors College also held their Trunk or Treat event where volunteers filled their car trunks with candy and even decorated them too. The Wood Honors College has been active throughout the fall so far, with large events like their New York trip and rail trail cleanup, the smaller events within the many honors committees. They will be continuing their events throughout the year and will be hard at work planning their 40th anniversary gala in 2025. The election is 5 days away, and SUTV is bringing you live election coverage on the big night. Join our co-hosts Ben Willey and JD DeRazio, as well as the rest of the SUTV crew, as we bring you live results from every single state. We will also be taking a trip to the past and learn about previous elections, the branches of our government, as well as some political-themed ship talks with Evan Bahusky. We will be going live on all of our normal streaming platforms, including Facebook and Comcast at 7:55. The show will begin at 8. The show will go on 4 hours long and cover everything you need to know to navigate the important night. Be sure to join us for Election Night at Ship Here, live on SUTV.
Registration for spring 2025 semester is quickly approaching. If you're an undergraduate student, time ticket windows for registration began on October 28th and will end on November 14th. The cleanup scheduling period begins on December 2nd and ends on January 28th. Non-degree seeking undergraduates may begin registration on January 2nd. If you are a graduate student, registration for spring 2025 began on October 21st and it ends soon. If anyone is registering for winter classes, check your registration time ticket window. To find out what time you are assigned for registration, you can do this by accessing your My Ship portal and then go to the Student tab, My Academics, and then Prepare for Registration, all underneath the Registration Tools subheading.
When we come back, Rylan Walls gives us the latest on Israel and Iran.
And JD DeRazio gives the updates on the election coming up.
Stay with us.
Are you failing a class or don't know what you're doing? You're in luck. Shippensburg Primary Academic Resource Center is free to all SHIP students. The Student Success Center, also known as the Learning Center, is located on the first floor of Mallory Hall. The center provides a variety of services, including course-based tutoring, writing tutoring, and learning specialists. To schedule an in-person or Zoom appointment, visit the Student Success Center collaborative website, ship.campus.eab.com. I'm Will Nicholson with SUTV.
Here at Multicultural Student Affairs, we value every student. No matter your race or ethnicity, you are guaranteed a home here. MSA offers many resources: a place to study, a place to meditate, a place to socialize, or a safe place to communicate issues or talk with a faculty member. Come down to Gilbert Hall today and join our family. Our roots run deep. Why not grow together? This is a public service announcement from MSA.
Are you having a hard time focusing on your work? Why not check out the Ezra Lehman Memorial Library? The library has many resources like the IT desk on the main floor. For computer assistants, see the experts. Need to print in black and white or color? Don't worry, the library offers both options on different floors. You can use the bottom floor for group work and the top floor for when you need silence. Don't forget to stop by Starbucks. Check out library.ship.edu for more information. This is a public service announcement from SU.
It's time to take a trip around the globe with Rylan Walls in this week's World News.
A ceasefire is possible in Lebanon and Gaza in the coming days as the presidential election is right around the corner. While a ceasefire is possible, the attacks have not died down. Early Thursday morning, rocket fire killed at least 7 people in northern Israel and 5 Syrians, including 4 foreign workers. The attack came as U.S. diplomats were in the region to discuss a ceasefire to dampen the war and mass destruction in Lebanon and Gaza. As the war continues, Lebanon City has been told to evacuate until a ceasefire is hopefully in order and peace can be worked upon. According to CBS News, Hezbollah's newly named top leader, Naim Qassem, said, quote, "The militant group will keep fighting Israel until it's offered ceasefire terms it deems accessible," end quote. The attack started on October 17th of 2023 when Hamas launched attacks on the Gaza Strip, marking over a year since this war commenced. Roughly 2,800 people have been killed and 13,000 have been wounded in the war since this war has taken place. The Vatican has a mascot. You heard that right. Luce, the Neobaci mascot, is aimed towards the youth of the Catholic Church through the Holy Year, also known as the Jubilee Year. Luce will be displayed at the convention Luca Comics and Games, the first time the Vatican will participate in a comics convention. The mascot's name translates to light in Italian, and its purpose is aimed to allow the Vatican to, quote, "speak to younger generations about the theme of hope, which is more central than ever in the evangelical message," end quote. Luce is dressed in a yellow raincoat, muddy boots, and carries a staff, all meant to symbolize the Catholic Church's views and ideals. Let's take a look at what J.D. Durazio has to say in this week's Road to the Election.
Welcome back to SUTV's Road to the Election. I'm J.D. Durazio. We're now just 5 days away from election night. In these final days, both presidential candidates have been ramping up their campaign momentum. Donald Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden has been in the news all week. There are many guest speakers throughout the night, including RFK Jr., Elon Musk, and Rudy Giuliani. One of the more controversial moments for the Madison Square Garden rally came when Tony Hinchcliffe, a superstar comedian, described Puerto Rico as, quote, "a floating pile of garbage," end quote. The controversial joke could have serious repercussions of the campaign of Donald Trump. Pennsylvania alone has nearly 500,000 voters of Puerto Rican descent. Danielle Alvarez, a senior advisor to the Trump campaign, said that the Puerto Rican joke, quote, "does not reflect the views of President Trump nor the campaign," end quote. In other news, the Harris campaign shocked the world with the reveal of an official presidential Fortnite map. The custom map includes a quest line where players can gather construction equipment, build a house, and put up posters for her rally. Additionally, it's been revealed that the Harris campaign will advertise on the iconic Las Vegas Sphere. This is the first time the Sphere has been used for political advertisements. For one last time, for SUTV's Road to the Election, I'm J.D. Durazio. Make sure to go on and let your voice be heard this Tuesday and we here at SUT will be live at 8 p.m. to give you coverage of the 2024 presidential election.
Tonight, we bring you a heartbreaking story involving emerging AI technology and a family's loss. A Florida mother is suing the AI company Character AI, alleging that their chatbot played a significant role in her teenage son's suicide. Megan Garcia, the mother of the 14-year-old, claims that the AI allowed her son to discuss self-harm without intervention and even engage in explicit conversations with him despite his young age. The lawsuit claims that in the final moments before the son's death, the bot continued conversing, saying, quote, "Please come home to me as soon as possible, my love," end quote. Character AI responded with condolences, noting they have since implemented safety updates. As AI becomes more ingrained in daily life, this case raises questions about the responsibility tech companies have to protect vulnerable users. If you're a hacker, this may be your chance to make some money. Well, legally. Apple is offering up to $1 million for hackers to hack into their servers to test their security when it comes to their new Apple Intelligence features. The purpose of this experiment is to see how well protected their private cloud compute servers will be, which will process the Apple Intelligence requests. Apple's focus is on accidental data disclosures, external compromises from users' requests, and physical or internal access. Apple is willing to pay if you're able to complete any of these attacks. Arbitrary code with execution with arbitrary entitlements will pay the top prize of $1 million. Access to a user's request data or sensitive information about the user's requests outside the trust boundary will pay a $250,000 or $150,000. Ability to execute unattested code will pay $100,000 down to $50,000. I don't know much about hacking, but I'm sure I can learn pretty quickly. I'm sure most of you would if $1 million was up for grabs. This has been Tin Man with news from Emerald City. Now back to Glinda and Elphaba at the desk.
Thanks, Tin Man. When we come back, Haley Galaskis tells us about our Halloween weather.
And Austin Briner gives us information on the new Wicked movie.
We'll see what that's about when we come back.
A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
Scary that it can be put into anything, and we can't even see it or notice it.
There's been another deadly shooting at a local elementary school. According to authorities, the suspect acquired the gun from a family member's home before using it to take the lives of innocent children and teachers.
Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
There's only one thing that will save somebody's life, and that is naloxone nasal spray. Get 911 on the phone, get the emergency responses there on their way.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Abby, given it being Halloween today and the weather has been really warm, it makes me kind of jealous for the kids who get to trick or treat.
Oh, I know. They get to have the actual Halloween experience.
I know. As a kid, you always had to have, your long sleeves or your jacket over your
pants.
costume.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then it would just ruin the entire costume.
Mm-hmm. Like, I worked hard picking this out. Like,
oh, yeah. Exactly.
I'm glad we don't have to do that anymore.
I hope there's no tornadoes in the weather forecast this week. Let's send it over to Dorothy, who has an update.
Thank you, witches, and happy Halloween. There's no tornadoes or falling houses hitting us tonight, thankfully, but the sky is definitely giving us a treat. The Oriented meteor shower, originating from Halley's Comet, is scheduled to peak this week, meaning we'll be able to see faint meteor trails from the sky. You can see this beautiful phenomenon anytime after midnight tonight and into the early morning. Also tonight we have a slight chance for scattered showers. We're going to take a closer look at that. You can see that we have some rain moving up from the south and it's moving towards the northeast. And if you take a closer look around the Pennsylvania area, we can see that it's kind of starting to split off, and that's where we're getting that potential rain from. So you're just going to keep an eye on that, and the temp is also going to drop into the mid-60s tonight. For anyone trick-or-treating, I know it's a little warmer than usual, but I would still suggest a jacket. Tomorrow will be another warm afternoon with highs in the mid-70s, but that's also going to come with a fair amount of wind and gusts up to 23 miles per hour. Fortunately, that's going to calm down as we head into the evening. As we look forward to this weekend, we can expect Saturday and Sunday to bring us pretty typical fall weather around highs of 60 degrees. And that cold is going to follow into Monday with some clouds coming from that rain. We have a chance to see some potential warm days around Tuesday in the mid to high 70s, and that's also going to carry into Wednesday. So you're just going to keep an eye on your weather app for the next week and see. It's definitely going to be a chilly week next week, so make sure you enjoy the random warm days as they come and stock up on that Halloween candy to start building up that winter weight. That's all the weather I have for you this week. I'm Dorothy. Now let's head over to Austin Briner to see what's new in entertainment.
Fans cannot stop talking about the release of the new Wicked movie. The movie, set to hit theaters November 22nd, tells the story of everything that happened in the land of Oz before Dorothy came along. The movie stars Cynthia Erivo as the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba and Ariana Grande as Glinda, the Good Witch as they meet in school. The movie is a film interpretation of the smash Broadway musical that had been on Broadway since October 2003. There's also been some controversy stirred by the star Cynthia Erivo in response to a fan-edited poster that was photo-edited to match the Broadway poster. Erivo commented on the poster, calling it, quote, "the most offensive thing I've ever seen." In response to the backlash she faced for her reaction, Erivo recently said that she is very protective of her role, probably should have called her friends. She said it was, quote, "a human moment of wanting to protect little Elphaba." Despite this controversy, many businesses, including Starbucks and Crocs, have released Wicked products ahead of the movie's launch, especially with Halloween costumes from the movie already hitting the shelves before the movie's launch. Pop star Billie Eilish dropped custom shoes with Converse. Eilish is known for her self-expression, setting trends like dyeing her roots bright colors and wearing overly baggy clothes. It is only right for her to come out with custom shoes. The shoes come in the classic Chuck Taylor All-Star and Chuck Taylor All-Star Lift, with a range of design choices. The canvas of the shoes come in white, black, or egret. The design and patches are all chosen by you to make them even more customizable. This experience won't last long, however, as it will only be available exclusively for a week. So to all you Billie Eilish and Converse fans, shop before the time runs out. Disney released a new spin-off of the 2007 hit children's show, Wizards of Waverly Place. The original Wizards of Waverly Place show, starring pop singer Selena Gomez, ran until 2012. The new show, Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, aired for the first time this week. The 2-episode premiere was available on Disney Plus starting October 30th. Selena Gomez and David Henry, two of the original series cast members, collaborated in the production of the spin-off series. Though Gomez is not set to be a series character, she does appear in the premiere of the reboot. Check out the series for a blast back to your childhood past. Woman of the Hour was just released on October 18th to Netflix. The thriller is based on a true story of the 1978 serial killer Ronnie Alcala, who appeared in a television dating game while he was on a murdering spree. The movie starred and was directed by Anna Kendrick, who played Cheryl Bradshaw. Kendrick says she felt gross profiting off a project that was based on a real-life crime, donating all the money she made from the movie to charity. This week, Woman of the Hour has made Netflix's #2 film globally with around 13.2 million views. Tyler, the Creator, has released his new album, Chromacopia. The 14-track project features artists like Doechii, Glorilla, Daniel Caesar, Thundercat, Willow Smith, and Donald Glover. Chromacopia follows 2021's Call Me If You Get Lost and is rumored to draw inspiration from the character Chroma, the Great, and Phantom Tollbooth. The album sees Tyler expanding his sound with hidden samples and new musical layers while staying rooted in his rap style. Tyler also announced a world tour with special guests Lil Yachty in Paris, Texas. Chromacopia is now streaming on Spotify and Apple Music. This has been Austin Browning with your entertainment this week, and I'm back to Abby and Emily at the desk.
When we return, we toss it over to Jack Weaver, or should I say the Scarecrow, who gives us recap on field hockey.
And we take a look at the cross-country team.
All that and more when we return.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
The #1 ranked Shippensburg field hockey team suffered their first loss of the season last night in an overtime thriller. It was the second meeting in the last 5 days between Shippensburg and IUP. In the last matchup, the Raiders took home a 4-0 win at Robb Sports Complex. Both teams went scoreless through regulation and headed to overtime, all squared at 0. Raider goalkeeper Emma Albee had 4 saves on the night, but IUP's Jess Davidson put the ball in the back of the net for the only goal of the night in the upset victory against the Raiders. Shippensburg will now get set to prepare for the PSAC tournament next Friday at noon in a conference semifinal against an undecided opponent. Catch the action in person at Robb Sports Complex or on the PSAC Digital Sports Network. Yesterday, Shippensburg women's soccer team took on Millersville University in a late-game thriller PSAC Eastern Division women's soccer contest. The first goal of the match came when Millersville Olivia Wainwright was able to score in the 31st minute of the match. The contest wouldn't see much action after that for a while, as the score would remain 1-0 until under the final minute of the contest. With 45 seconds remaining in the match, freshman Ashton Gonzalez was able to draw a foul just outside the box, which would set her up for a free kick attempt. The free kick would end up scraping off the fingertips of the Millersville goalie, finding the top left corner of the net. The late-minute goal and goalie Kirsten Brown's 5 saves in the match would go to end in a draw. This ties the Raiders for 6th place in the PSAC Eastern Division Conference with East Stroudsburg, who they'll be traveling to play this Saturday for a match at 1 p.m. at Eiler Martin Stadium. The Raider football team traveled to Bloomsburg last Saturday and fell short 20-10. The Huskies took an early lead in the second quarter and never let it go. The Raiders outrushed the Huskies by over 100 yards, and freshman quarterback Vincent McCucci led the team with 89 yards on the ground, including his first rushing touchdown on his young career. McCucci was injured early in the fourth quarter, bringing in sophomore Sam Stoner. Stoner led a drive down the field, but freshman kicker Wilson Ingursky kicked a 38-yard field goal attempt wide of the uprights. Although earlier in the game, Ingursky made a 54-yarder, a new school record. Bloomsburg had a big day passing the ball, including a 79-yard passing touchdown and a 93-yard play that just ended short of the goal line. Plenty of Raiders defenders had themselves a day. Senior linebacker Javon Cruz had 10 tackles, senior TJ Wagner posted 2 sacks and tackles for loss, and junior DJ Jackson had 5 tackles and 2 pass breakups. The team plays next this Saturday for Senior Day in their final home game as they host East Stroudsburg at 1 p.m. at Seth Grove Stadium. Be sure to watch SUTV's final football broadcast of the season, which you can find at shipraiders.com. Both cross-country teams raced at the PSAC Championships at Kutztown this past Saturday. Starting with the men's team, junior Garrett Quinnen defended his individual title as the first-place finisher. Quinnen is also the only Raider in school history to have multiple first-place PSAC finishes. The team dominated the competition with 5 runners in the top 9 spots, a first in school history. The Raiders' final score was a 28, which was 55 points ahead of second-place finisher East Stroudsburg. Senior Aiden Gonder made history as well by becoming a 5-time All-PSAC runner, capping off a stellar career as a Raider. Graduate Ian Sherlock's final PSAC race was also great, finishing in 8th and earning himself his 3rd All-PSAC honors. The women's team finished in 2nd, their best finish at the championships in 6 years, narrowly edging out East Stroudsburg by 3 points to claim that second-place spot. Freshman Ella Hartel was the team's leading runner, finishing in 7th. Graduate Kelsey Hull earned her 2nd All-PSAC honors and finished in 11th. Junior Livy Rick earned her 3rd consecutive All-PSAC honors, and Victoria Mattioli and Katie Todd earned their 1st All-PSAC honors of their careers. The teams race next at the NCAA Atlantic Regional Championships in Lock Haven next Saturday. Volleyball faced off against Pitt Johnstown on Tuesday, getting swept through 3 sets. After taking an early lead in the first set, the Raiders were ahead before both teams traded the lead back and forth. Unfortunately, the Raiders couldn't pull through, losing 3 straight points at the end to lose the set 29-27. Both of the following sets were less and less close, leading to the Raiders getting swept in the match. The team was behind in just about every stat, doubling the Mountain Cats' errors and having nearly half as many kills. Junior Isabel Bombas had 6 kills on her own and didn't have any errors on 10 swings. Junior Kirsten Davis had 24 of the Raiders' 28 assists and had 10 digs. Sophomore Shay Kolovosky had 4 aces and added 11 digs of her own. The Raiders return tomorrow night to take on Kutztown in a PSAC matchup at Higas Fieldhouse. That's all for sports this week. I'm Jack the Scarecrow. Now back to the witches at the desk.
Stick with us to see this week's Ship Talk with Evan Bahusky.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
With the election coming up, we decided to ask Shippensburg students who they would vote for to become the president of the university, Big Red or Ship of the Hippo. Let's see what they had to say.
Hello everyone, I am Evan Bahusky, and this week we have a very special Ship Talk. We're asking Ship students the hypothetical question: if President Patterson should step down, which of the 2 mascots should replace him, Big Red or Shippo? But it looks like we're missing 2 very special guests of honor, so... Wow, we are so honored here at SUTV to be joined by not 1, but 2 Shippensburg legends. So let's see who Ship students would think would make the better president out of these 2.
I personally think that Shippo would be a better president. I don't think Sleepy Red could do any better.
I think I like Big Red just because I like the color red, honestly. And he was the first mascot I saw, so I didn't even know Shippo existed until I came out here. So.
I think Shippo. I don't really know why though. I just think that Shippo's a more like adorable mascot, so that's why I like Shippo.
I think Shippo would make a better president.
All right, I'm voting for Shippo because Shippo is the best.
I got Big Red. Shippo, 'cause she's just better.
All right, I am voting for Shippo because she's so iconic.
What's going on, guys? I am voting for Big Red because he's the OG.
Wow, those were some awesome answers. Now, in my opinion, I think Shippo would be better. Or maybe Big Red. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. That was all for this week's Ship Talk. Now back to Abby and Emily at the desk.
So we have our friends from Oz here, and you know, going with the ship talk, like I would choose Big Red to be probably the president of the university because he's been here the longest, you know. And what would you choose?
I have to go with Shippo all the way. I mean, he's just, you know, Shippo's got that main character energy, which is something I really relate to, you know.
I don't know. Big Red's the OG, man. I love Big Red. He's been here the longest. I just have to stick with my gut and say Big Red.
Big Red knows everything that's happening around campus. He's seen all of it. He knows all the secrets. He's my pick, 100%.
I'm tired of birds on my farms. I have to pick Shippo.
Oh, man. Thank you for spending your spooky evening here with us here at SUTV.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and everything else. I've been Glinda the Good Witch, rocking the east side of the desk.
And I'm the Wicked Witch of the West.
Join us next week for the latest news on and off campus. Thank you, and have a good
Happy
Halloween.